Hi, I'm Chris. I liked the pun about addresses. So I'd like to talk about the future addresses and what's wrong with addresses. So addresses were made a very long time ago for a very different thing, which was to sort and deliver mail, like hundreds of years ago in many cases, in the case of postcodes decades ago, but they were not intended for the digital age. And in the case of India, it's a fairly uncontroversial statement whenever I come here that there are problems with accuracy and that they are, in many places, non-existent. But this problem extends far beyond India. I live in a small village in Hertfordshire in the UK. No one can find my house. If you put in my postcode, I have no house number. It will take you to the middle of a field, not to my front door. And I have never received mail first time as long as I've lived. And this is the way that many people around the world, in the UK, in India, we have to go on. But this is a problem which seems to never get fixed. Somebody sent me their address in Bangalore, and I like this because this is the same address which is registered in 4 different ways for 4 different authorities because of the ways that it kind of interacts with different systems here. And I think it's just a great example of how complicated addresses have become. If this is the same address, the 146 kind of has many incarnations as to how we have to get by when we register for different things. I also found duplicate street names quite complicated. In London we have 14 church roads. That is beaten by Delhi, which has 91 Mahatma Gandhi roads. Quite a few in Mumbai as well. And I don't think I'm the first person who's ended up at the wrong place just trying to arrive at a meeting. We also have many other places like where you just have one big site or campus, but you have many places within that site or campus. But on the mapping apps, there's just one name for the whole place, and then you kind of get left to chance as to whether you'll actually find the building that you're looking for. And there's so many unnamed roads. Each of these pins points to a road which doesn't have a name. And this is when we end up with addresses like, well, you follow that road until you have to turn left by the shop and right where the tree used to be. And then we end up with this informal way of reaching places without an address, which I find fairly painful. And if you want to go to a big place, now of course the stadiums, everyone knows where the stadiums are, but what happens if you want to arrive at the East Gate, West Gate, or Park, or somewhere around the north? Again, we get stuck with a pin in the middle of the stadium, which is useful if you are the person, if you're playing cricket there, it's very useful. If you want to watch, it is somewhat less useful, but this is the way that life has gone on. And so, a little bit about why I care so passionately about addresses. Yes, no one could find my house ever, but I was a musician, a piano player, and I ran a music business for 10 years where I organized musicians to arrive at events. And what I can tell you is that musicians have an amazing ability to get lost trying to find anywhere. And this hotel is a great example. You've got a wonderful front entrance, but if you were having any kind of performance here, everyone would have to arrive at the back entrance. And I tried to solve this by enforcing the use of latitude and longitude coordinates across the music industry. And I failed because it turns out that guitarists, or frankly anyone, doesn't want to have to type in 24.717.323 degrees north, etc., east or west. Wonderfully accurate system. It exists everywhere. We all learn about it in school with the equator and the tropics. But as a global system that works everywhere, this is not ideal for humans. And I could not get any musicians to use this. But dude, where's the degrees button on my phone? All sorts of troubles I had. So I sat down with a friend of mine and came up with a solution. He is a mathematician called Mohan, and together we kind of devised what would be a simpler way, which was if we took the whole world and we put a grid of 3 meters by 3 meters across the whole world. We could name each single grid square with 3 words from the dictionary instead of using latitude and longitude coordinates. So there are 57 trillion 3 meter squares in the world, and there's just about 57 trillion combinations of 3 random words. So this one is pirates, tigers, quiet. And each single 3 meter square, we have given 3 random words to already around the world, including the oceans, including the North Pole. It has been done. And the system's called what3words. So effectively what our tech does is pretty simple. It's just a formula, an algorithm, which converts a big long set of numbers into a sequence of 3 random words. Much like domain names and IP addresses, this is not the first time words have been used in place of numbers, but it's the first time to make an address system, and it's global. So there is an app, it's called what3words. It's a great way to find and explore the system, and it means that because everyone in this room, we have named your house with 3 words, you can download the app and find out what they are. They will be a different 3 words for the front door, and the back door, and anywhere around the side. Literally everywhere has already been done. And when you open up the app, it will look like this. You can press a button and it will show you the 3 words in that place. This is super simple to understand, super simple to click around, and you see the 3 words that have been pre-assigned for any place on the map in the world. And I think this is a really good solution for addresses because it's easier than latitude, longitude. So if you come into our world of 3 words, it means that this 3 meter square here, you can just say a sprayer, dice, wheels, and you can arrive exactly there. This place here is linguists' famous measure, and that applies to this 3 meter square here. Now, we haven't just done this in English, we've done this in 54 languages globally, of which there are 12 languages specific to India. So if you are using Hindi or Bengali, Gujarati, Kannada, Malayalam, etc., you can use this in your first language. I know there's many languages in India, but by doing 12, we've covered a lot of the population as to the language of their choice. And so this is something that people we want to be able to use in their first language and not have to use English or something else. So as we built this system, the first place that we got traction was not the first place in our business plan. It was with the Mongolian Postal Service, who we discovered had an enormous problem with addresses around the country. I don't know if people have been to Mongolia. Enormous and amazing country. Very difficult for the Postal Service to know where to deliver to properties like this, which don't have an address. But fast forward a few years, this system, what3words, is very well known in the UK, where I'm from. I would say it's a household name. If you know anybody British, you could ask them, do you know this, do you use this? And I would guarantee you they'll say yes. You can use it with even 85% of our police, fire and ambulance services. You can call 999. You can give them the 3 words if you want to talk about somewhere remote, that there's a crime or you need something. So it's supported all across our government and used for many, many different things. And so now we see India as a great place to come and develop the system outside of the UK. And how we do this is by integrating this service into third-party platforms. So whilst I talked about an app, which is what everyone builds, and it's a great way to get familiar with this system, our ultimate ambition is to make this app redundant. We are on a mission to make our own app redundant because we want to integrate it with everything else so that you never have to even come to our app. So the first global integration we had was with Mercedes-Benz cars. If you're lucky enough to drive Mercedes-Benz, it's probably in your navigation system already. You may just not know it. And you can type or speak the 3 words directly into the car, and it will take you to that 3 meter square. Now here in India, we've already replicated this with the certain Tata Motors cars. You can do exactly the same. This is already built in. Same with TBS Motors. The navigation system here will support what3words already. And the same with the new Mahindra cars. Again, you can get into that car. And I wonder if this is how it kind of works.
Alexa, ask what3words to navigate to locked blink below.
Locked blink below is 20 kilometers away. Set the destination.
Yes.
Okay, getting directions.
I think the audio happened and the visuals didn't, but you can basically get into any Mahindra car, speak the 3 words, and it will then navigate you to that 3 meter square, which is pretty cool. So we've got Mahindra, TVS, Tata Motors, and we want to be a standard in India. Whatever car you drive, whatever you're using, go to that 3 meter square. And similarly with e-commerce and delivery, the pain I have in the UK trying to get anything delivered to my house, well, now we're taking that on in India too. So if you order something from Interflora, for example, a nice bouquet of flowers, and you really want it to arrive, if you see at the bottom right here, they now have live on the website a section for what3words, so you can add it to your address, the rest of your address. It just that help, and it goes to the delivery company. They can convert it into the PIN, goes to the driver's device, and off they go to find exactly where they're looking for. So if you live in this place which is impossible to find, you would add taping Melds reviewers to that order, and it can then help you get to the destination. Now globally, we've done partnerships with companies like DHL. Great to see these kind of brands getting on board so that you can use it with DHL. Here in India, we've just launched 2 partnerships. The first with Grab, which is a Reliance brand. Amazing for us to be doing this. And I'm sure people will know as well, DTDC. We just signed a partnership with, if you have the My DTDC app, you can put your 3 words into the app. It will know where you are, or any retailers delivering with DTDC, they can support it as well. So this is mega exciting for us as we take on e-com and logistics here in India, and we're already growing a huge number of Indian partners who will support our system. Now I just wanted to finish with a couple of other applications. In Maharashtra, the national ambulance of the state is called BVG MEMS, and if you call the emergency number, and let's say you're somewhere outside the main city, you don't know where you are, you can actually give the 3 words over the phone, a bit like I explained in the UK with our police, fire and ambulance. You can now do that in Maharashtra. We want to do that elsewhere in India, but it's already live and saving lives every day when people really struggle to communicate where they are and they need help quickly. Another great project we're doing in Bangalore is with an NGO, a social impact firm called Pollinate Energy. They give solar lights into slum areas, and for a lot of NGOs in those kind of places, it's really difficult to understand exactly where those places are, the houses are, and so they use what3words to enable them to give those solar lights to the right places. So that's a bit of overview on how I and we see the future of dressing. The app is called what3words. Please do download it. Please find the 3 words for your front door in the language of your choice. And thank you so much, everybody. That's me. Thank you.